Two drivers set off in the exact same car, take the exact same route, and face the same traffic conditions. Yet by the end of the trip, one of them has used noticeably more fuel than the other. Nothing about the vehicle changed and nothing about the road was different. Which naturally leads to the question, why does driving style affect fuel efficiency? The answer has to come from something less obvious. It comes from the small, constant decisions made behind the wheel, the kind that happen almost automatically without much thought. The way a car accelerates, slows down, and maintains speed quietly determines how efficiently fuel is used over time. Let's roll into it, right here, on History of Simple Things. Every time the accelerator is pressed, the engine responds by adjusting how much fuel it injects to produce power, and that response is directly tied to how aggressively the pedal is used. Pressing it harder than necessary demands a rapid increase in power, which forces the engine to burn more fuel in a short amount of time. This often goes beyond what is needed to simply maintain smooth motion, creating inefficiency that builds up across a drive. Engines are designed to operate most efficiently within a specific range, and sudden spikes in demand push them outside that range repeatedly. Gradual acceleration keeps the engine closer to its optimal zone, allowing fuel to burn more completely and consistently. Over time, the difference between smooth and aggressive throttle use becomes significant, even if each individual input feels small in the moment. As a vehicle moves faster, it must push against increasing air resistance, and this force grows much more quickly than most people expect. The relationship between speed and drag is not linear, meaning that a small increase in speed can require a much larger increase in engine power to maintain it. At higher speeds, the engine must work continuously harder just to keep the vehicle moving forward, even on flat and open roads. This added workload translates directly into higher fuel consumption because more energy is needed to overcome the resistance of the air. Driving at moderate speeds allows the engine to operate under less strain, keeping fuel use more efficient over long distances. When speed is kept consistent rather than fluctuating, the engine avoids repeated adjustments, which further improves overall efficiency. When a car accelerates, it builds kinetic energy using fuel, but that stored energy is lost whenever the brakes are applied, especially if the braking is sudden or unnecessary. Hard braking converts that energy into heat through friction, which means the fuel used to create that motion is effectively wasted. Drivers who follow too closely or react late to changes in traffic often brake more frequently, creating a repeated cycle of acceleration and energy loss. This pattern forces the engine to work harder to regain speed after each slowdown, increasing overall fuel consumption. In contrast, anticipating traffic flow and easing off the accelerator early allows the car to slow down naturally, preserving more of its momentum. Fuel efficiency is also affected by how the engine's speed is managed, which is closely tied to gear selection in both manual and automatic vehicles. Lower gears keep the engine spinning at higher revolutions per minute, which increases fuel consumption because the engine is working harder than necessary for the vehicle's speed. Efficient driving involves shifting to higher gears at the right time, allowing the engine to maintain motion with less effort. In automatic cars, aggressive acceleration can delay these shifts, causing the transmission to hold lower gears longer than needed. This keeps the engine operating at higher RPMs, which leads to increased fuel use over time. Fuel consumption continues even when the car is not moving. especially during idling, where the engine runs without producing any useful motion. Driving habits that lead to frequent stops, poor traffic anticipation, or unnecessary waiting with the engine running can quietly waste fuel over time. While each individual moment of idling may seem insignificant, these moments can add up across a trip, especially in heavy traffic conditions. A more aware driving style focuses on maintaining steady movement when possible and reducing situations where the car sits running without purpose. Modern engines are capable of restarting efficiently, which is why reducing unnecessary idling can make a noticeable difference in fuel use. One of the most important factors in fuel efficiency is maintaining a consistent driving rhythm, where acceleration, speed, and braking are all smooth and predictable. This consistency allows the engine and transmission to operate under stable conditions, which improves efficiency because the system is not constantly adjusting to sudden changes. Erratic driving, on the other hand, introduces frequent spikes in demand as the vehicle repeatedly accelerates, slows down, and changes pace. These constant adjustments require additional fuel, even if each change seems minor on its own. Keeping a steady pace, maintaining safe following distances, and avoiding unnecessary inputs all contribute to a smoother overall drive. Driving style affects fuel efficiency because it shapes how energy is used, preserved, or wasted throughout every part of a trip. What makes this especially important is that it places a large portion of control in the hands of the driver rather than the machine itself. Without changing the car, the fuel, or the route, small adjustments in behavior can lead to meaningful improvements in efficiency. Smoother acceleration, better anticipation, and more consistent speed all work together to reduce unnecessary fuel consumption. Over time, these habits turn efficiency into something intentional rather than accidental, showing that how a car is driven matters just as much as the car itself. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.